Good afternoon. I'm Chris, and this is Fiercely Independent. Want to talk today about character. Character, does it count anymore? I'm not so sure. But before we dig into that, I want to go back in time, back to 1987, a guy named Gary Hart. Some of you may know this story, some of you may not, but Gary Hart was the Democrat leading candidate for presidency at that time until it was discovered he was having an affair. So Gary did the right thing. He stepped down, and that was the end of kind of Gary's career. But I remember talking to people at that time asking, well, why is this a big deal, right? People do have affairs. Why would that be a reason to not vote for this person as president? And a lot of people came back with similar comments, basically saying, what a person does in their private life, the concern would be if they make bad decisions in their private life, they're going to make bad decisions in their public service. I get it. That makes sense. Okay. So let's fast forward to today. We've got a couple of candidates. Ken Paxton, Republican, Texas. And I'm sure you've all heard of Graham Platner, Democrat, Maine. These guys have some serious character flaws. And I'm not going to get into the debate of, who's better, who's worse, whose flaws are more severe. That's not the point of this discussion. The point really is, where have we come to? Is this the standard of today now? Have we lowered the bar so low that pretty much anybody can run for a public office? Is a misdemeanor conviction okay? Or do we draw the line at a felony conviction? I don't know anymore. I'm not sure anybody does. And that's the scary part. And it's ironic when you have a President Trump, calling Platner a pig. I mean, that's the pot calling the kettle black. Seriously. So you got to question, where are we? And in fact, I remember there was a time we had a moral majority. They're gone. Haven't heard from them in a long time. And Democrats, Republicans, they're both hypocrites when it comes to this. And that's the frustration I have. The hypocrisy is outrageous. We should expect more from both parties. Because I got to tell you, this outrage is, I think, what drives people away from being a Democrat or a Republican is, myself included as an independent, I am tired of choosing between the lesser of two evils. I want to choose a candidate that I feel confident in, that I know that this person is someone who I can trust. I don't want to pick someone who is like, well, it's not as bad as the other person, so I'm going to go with them. That's a horrible way to run a democracy. So my plea to both parties, give us candidates that we can put into office, that we know the choices they've made in their private life, good choices or bad, those choices, they're going to make good choices when they're in public service. That's what I'm asking for. So I hope you have a great day. Stay fierce, stay independent. Talk to you soon.